Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, my name is Brendan, and here we teach that what you are thinking, feelingly, and imagining throughout your day is creating your physical experience. Now, one of the things that a lot of people face when it comes to manifestation is trying to understand their purpose, trying to understand maybe what they actually want, therefore, what do they want to manifest? So, if you're one of these people who doesn't have a lot of direction, maybe you're not entirely sure what your true desires are, you're not in tune with the side of yourself that has dreams, goals, aspirations beyond just what society tells us we should want, then this should be helpful to you. I have found in my experience, the more that you honor yourself, your true self, even your inner child, the easier it becomes to manifest and the easier it becomes to understand exactly what you actually want. So, if there are things that intrigued you as a child, maybe you were artistic, you were into drawing, or you really liked creating things, then you can look upon that in your past and let that guide you, okay? Kind of try and return to your roots. It doesn't mean just because you like to sketch a picture when you were young, that doesn't mean you have to be a famous artist today, but you can recognize that maybe these are some of your inherent interests, okay? Some of these things within you that as you explore creative expression in these years, right, this point in your life, you may become more acquainted with the side of yourself that has love or passion for things. A lot of people today seem to be moving through life without any sort of passion or aims or goals. So you can start simple. You don't have to come up with what you're going to do for the rest of your life right now, but you can recognize what is something that can give you creative freedom of expression. So a lot of people don't have an outlet like that. A lot of times we're just taking in and taking in. People think that they are giving themselves almost like a break from life by watching TV shows, listening to music, all of which are usually very overstimulating. Now, I'm not going to be one of these people who tells you, turn off this kind of music, don't watch that kind of show. No, that's up to you if you want to take those things out of your life. But what you can do is recognize that it's not the same as a creative outlet, because when things are flowing out of you instead of media entertainment flowing into you, then you're actually starting that creative process within yourself, which helps you to create. It's also what this life is about. Okay, you're here to create things, and you've created every physical experience you've ever had so far. But if you want to get better at that, if you want to get clearer on how to do that personally for you, because everyone is different, the process is generally the same. But if you want to get more acquainted with your style of creation, then I recommend you find some sort of creative outlet and make it a hobby, okay? Doesn't mean you have to do it every single day, but the more that you express yourself and the more you are true to yourself, you may discover there are things about yourself that you had forgotten. There are aspects of you that you didn't know were still there. Maybe senses of childlike wonder and joy, all feelings of which will help you to manifest whatever you desire when you get clear on what exactly you want. Now, another thing is allowing relaxation. So, whether you know what you want or not, a lot of people talk about instant manifestation. And so, that doesn't exactly mean that you're manifesting a brand new car, so you imagine it and then you walk outside and it has materialized, okay? I'm not going to say that's not possible, okay? Incredible things have happened on this earth, okay? So, don't limit yourself, but recognize that in most cases, unless you need it to happen in a magical way like that, it's going to happen in a way that's perfectly natural and seemed like it would have happened that way anyways. That's kind of the fun of it, because it always gives you the option. This power always gives you the option to say, oh, it's just coincidence, when if you've done this time and time again, you know it's not. So the key here is relaxation. So whether you have a specific goal in mind, whether you want physical changes, a relationship, an ideal job, more money, or if you just don't know what you want, but you want your life to improve in some way, then relaxation is a huge key, because really this life is like a performance, okay? And so when you are relaxed, you perform the best, no matter what it is that you're doing. It's not hard to look at situations where it's like maybe you're taking an exam. Who's going to perform better, or at least feel better throughout the process? someone who is relaxed, whether it's because they studied or not, or someone who is terribly anxious. The person who is relaxed is going to have a clearer thinking process. They're going to have an easier time reading, processing, answering the questions. The person who's anxious may go too fast or even too slow. And when they go too slow, they look at the clock and it creates more anxiety. So your life isn't a test. I'm not going to say that, but it is a performance of sorts, okay? It's not that you're putting on a performance for someone else, but you have to perform to live life, okay? You have to perform at a job. You have to perform doing whatever it is that you're doing, driving your car. You have to perform going for a walk, okay? So looking at life as a performance or as, something that requires you to be consciously active in the process, it makes it easier to understand the role of choosing to relax, okay? Choosing to feel deep relaxation, especially when things seem stressful, especially when things start to happen that maybe in the past would have triggered you into great anxiety. Being able to take a moment or two or a few minutes to sit down, close your eyes, and breathe deeply and just relax, relax. You can repeat that to the body. You can feel your muscles relaxing as you just calm down. You release the world for a moment, detach from this outer world that seems to be so stressful, that seems to be so problematic, that seems to say, you need to solve this right here, right now, right? All these problems, worries, fears, doubts, you can let them go, at least for a few minutes, just to come to a point of relaxation, because then you will be in a much better place to perform. You're not going to force a wonderful idea to get you out of a bad situation. But if you're relaxed, maybe it can come to you, right? And you won't have the harsh judgment of being anxious or fearful that would think, oh, that'll never work. You have that openness to receive. So it's helpful to recognize where you can relax in your life. And it doesn't mean like when you're driving, if someone cuts you off, you want to close your eyes and relax. Okay, I'm not saying that you don't want to crash, but you can still take deep breaths, right? You can still refocus yourself and maybe find a way to forgive them. Whether it's true or not, you could recognize, hey, maybe they really need to be somewhere because, something bad has happened. Maybe they have a reason to be in such a rush and that's why they cut you off. Just something to give you the openness of mind to forgive, because you're not doing yourself any favors to let anything on the outside, whether it's someone cutting you off, someone saying, some kind of comment to you, anything. You're not doing yourself any favors to let anything from the outside make you feel negative inside, okay? Because that is reacting to life. And instead, we want to be able to respond. Now, remember, I'll say it again. It's not that reactions are bad. It's not that negative feelings, thoughts are bad. It's just that you would benefit greatly from recognizing them and simply observing them, seeing where they come from, seeing what it really means within you to reach a level of understanding, right? And then at that point, when you understand yourself, you have successfully, let's say, learned the lesson of the situation and you can go beyond it, right? By responding with love, by responding with joy, by responding with feeling how you want to feel, because you have that ultimate freedom. Do you really want to be ruled by the world outside of you? Do you want to listen to everyone who says what isn't possible? Do you want to listen to everyone who says you can't be everything you want to be? Do you want to listen to everyone who says that the economy is bad and so you can't start that business? Are you going to be delusional or not? Okay. And again, the true delusion is to identify with this world of the senses, because the reality, capital R, is imagination. So be willing to put imagination above all else. Put all things in subjection to it, as Neville Goddard said. That means that nothing, nothing in this world is true or will remain true unless you imagine it to be so. You have that power, you have that freedom, you have that skill, all right? And you can develop it. It's like going to the gym. The more that you get good at relaxing, at allowing yourself to creatively express, at allowing yourself to really dive deep and understand yourself and what you truly want beyond what society says you should want, that's how you're going to hone the skill. That's how you're going to train that muscle, right? And it's with repetitions. Same way in the gym. I make the metaphor because I love going to the gym every day. But it's like repetitions. Every time you're able to relax instead of reacting negatively to a situation, every time you're able to choose creative expression over just taking in more and more negative media, every time you're able to honor yourself in that way, you are getting better and better. You're getting more and more in tune with your true self, which is literally God, which is literally source, the universe, imagination itself. And that is the one to whom all things are possible. So if you were to align yourself with anything or anyone, I think that would be the one. And so there's one way that you can look at life that will really help you stay in alignment. And that is really just to recognize, is this in alignment with my ideal, with my vision, with my goal, or not? Okay. And so you can look at it first physically. And so if there's a physical situation, maybe an obstacle, something that appears out of alignment, then go within and say, okay, so the physical looks this way. I acknowledge that. But is my thinking and my feeling and my imagining in or out of alignment? Because you always have that control over your thinking, your feeling, and your imagining to have it be in alignment. So you can ask yourself that question a million times a day in any situation. And sometimes it'll be easier. The physical will be in alignment. But then maybe the inner world is not in alignment. So by asking that question, you have the opportunity to decide, okay, things are going great. Let me recognize that. Let me give thanks for that. And in that act of gratitude and openness to what's happening, then you can raise your inner state. Or if it's a situation where things are negative on the outside and you feel not so positive or in alignment on the inside, then you can say, okay, I recognize that it's not up to me to determine how my desire will be fulfilled. I may not see it right now, but this is happening perfectly in favor of my vision. So I should remain faithful within by feeling how I want to feel, by living, catching the mood of my desire fulfilled right here, right now. And you can always do that anytime, anywhere, for as long as you want. You can feel however you want to feel. And it takes practice, right? We're so used to this world which has trained us to react to everything, right? We react to the news, we react to the music, we react to the TV shows, we react to our family, we react to our friends, all of it. We react to the person who cuts us off. So you can become greater than that. Okay, you can evolve beyond that by becoming more aware of what you are, which is all imagination. So if you recognize that this world is just as imaginary as the dream of the night, it's just as much a dream, then all things are possible to you, which means if you're that free, that all things are possible to you, anything you could ever possibly want is not only possible, but it will be done for you. What are you doing getting upset about a person cutting you off? It just seems like a waste of time. And I'm not saying you can't. Again, all things exist within us. Negative, as we call it, positive, as we call it, feelings, thoughts, emotions, they all exist. Okay, so they're not bad. We don't want to antagonize them and create some sort of shame or guilt complex about them, because that's not progress. But just recognizing that with your ultimate freedom, what is there to be hurt by? Who can hurt you? No one. Nothing can hurt you. Nothing can kill you. Nothing can put you down. Okay? In the book of John, Jesus said, "No one takes my life. I lay it down myself. I have the power to lay it down, and I have the power to raise it up again." And that can be about life. That can also be about your feeling. Okay? No one has the power to take away your joy. You have the power to lay it down, and you have the power to raise it up again. No one has the power to take away your sense of fulfillment. Okay? If you lay it down, then you lay it down yourself. You have the power to lay it down and the power to raise it up again. So how will you use your power? Because you are free. You are free. Nothing in this world happens without you first imagining it. There is one cause, one true reality, and it is imagination. So do you want to imagine in alignment with what the physical world is doing and having and what appears to be? Or do you want to imagine in alignment with your ideal and therefore bring it into physical experience? So remember, anytime, anywhere, you can ask yourself, is this in alignment? And it could be the physical, it could be the inner, and do what you can to always keep that inner world in alignment. And if the inner world is feeling negative and you can't really let it go, then journal about it. Or find someone who is in alignment with a good philosophy that won't let you spiral. You can vent to them, or just allow yourself the opportunity to feel it out and then move forward, okay? Because you don't want to trap emotions. You don't want to try and resist, because what we resist persists. It will come back. So handle it at the source. Don't be afraid of negative feelings, but live in alignment. And you'll see everything coming into alignment. Relaxation, peace, joy, all of these things, they're yours. So I'm sure you found this helpful. You can check out my stand store in the description or in the comments if you want to see what I have to offer. As always, thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I will see you next time. Take care.